What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 83 of the Rise to Glory here with Gibraltar Apex. And today I have for you guys the Champions League first knockout round. We are going to be taking on AC Milan. We are actually going to be starting with an away leg at the San Siro before returning to the Space Park to hopefully progress. I mean, I say hopefully. In reality, this year so far has surpassed my wildest expectations. Of course, AC Milan, a team we're fairly familiar with. We've met them a number of times in European competition in the past, 4 times to be precise, in 2 separate group stages, one of which was the Europa League, one of which was the Champions League. You can see previous meetings, we've lost 3 in a row, and then the most recent one we actually drew. Obviously, there's been a little while since the last episode. There's been plenty of domestic games to talk about. I'm not going to go through them in too much detail. Of course, last episode was the game against Real Madrid. We played one more Champions League group stage game. We actually lost to Benfica, which was a bit of a shame, losing 3-0 after, well, a fairly good run in Europe, really. Ultimately, that meant that we did still finish top of the group, but we did end up with 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses, and actually a negative goal difference. But we finished top by 1 point. Real Madrid also going through on head-to-head against Benfica. And yeah, that is how we got to this point, I guess. You can see there's quite a few games since last episode. I'm not going to go through them all, but we've won pretty much all of them. There were 3 games where we conceded goals. We beat Glasgow United 12-1. I do want to quickly talk about transfers and such, but actually before we get into transfers, we have to talk about Gibraltar Lions. And the reason we have to talk about them is because they're actually starting to make progress, which is absolutely fantastic. So if we look at their transfers here, sorted by most valuable, you'll notice that they signed a few new players, especially in January, such as this guy who is Molinos. And this guy's a very good striker. Obviously, he wouldn't be great for our team, but to see them signing someone like this Spaniard, I mean, that is promising. It's really promising. They've started signing some decent Spanish players. They've also signed, some players from the likes of Oxford United, like Darren Martin here, and well, it slowly seems like Gibraltar Lions are starting to get a pull of foreign players. Of course, they're the only other professional team in Gibraltar right now, but to see them kind of signing some new players is good to see, and it's only going to help the rep of our league, of our kind of nation as a whole, really, to see them hopefully start to progress. And I guess them making those kind of signings that I've just shown is a sign of perhaps some progression being made. Anyway, since the last episode, I did actually make, I believe, 4 transfers, so we'll go through these. 3 of them were loan signings. Again, I don't like these loan signings, but we just don't have the money. They're actually 3 fairly hefty loan signings. We'll start with the 2 fullbacks who we signed. The first one here, Rocha, the Brazilian, very good player, right back, can also play left back, which is where he's going to be playing a lot for us. But just a very, very good fullback, to be honest. The kind of player who I was looking to sign. We needed to bolster the right back and left back position. And I feel like if we really want to have a go in the knockout stages, we needed to loan in players like this guy, who is a very, very good fullback. And yeah, excited about him. We also, as I mentioned, speaking of fullback, signed another fullback, this guy, Carlos Lasso, to play right back for us, on loan from Atletico Madrid. I made 3 loan signings. They were all defenders in January. I was quite careful to make sure I got players who weren't cup tied, who hadn't played in continental competition this year, so they were eligible, of course, to play for us against AC Milan. Lasso here, on loan from Atletico Madrid. Just a very good player again, good fullback. Like the look of him, fairly athletic as well, which is nice. The final defender we signed is actually a centre-back who I've got on a 2-year deal from Manchester United. Pretty hefty fee paid for him, really, if we look. We've paid £2 million to have this guy for the next year and a half, which, I don't know, that is quite a lot to pay, but at the same time, he's better than any other player I could sign. And if I had the option to sign this guy for £2 million, only be paying him £9,000 a week as a transfer, I probably would have done it, to be honest. This guy, Uruguayan international, Emiliano Freire. Very good player, 25. If we just look at his centre-back kind of attributes, you can see very, very well suited to this role. I think he's going to be a fantastic addition to the side. Kind of surprised he wasn't playing more for for Manchester United. You can see he joined them on a transfer for £9.5 million, and actually it's his second stint at the club, but he's not performed too great for them. He comes to us, I'm hoping to give him a boost in confidence, and as I mentioned, his loan deal lasts the next year and a half, all the way through to the end of next year, so I was really happy to get him in. The last signing we made, a permanent signing, a free transfer. We signed Henderson, who was a player released by Sao Paulo, I want to say. It was Sao Paulo. You can see here he's had a very, very good career with them, really, since 2018. He spent 7 years at the club. Now age 23, he left on a free transfer, and we have snapped him up. Really like the look of this guy. He is the highest earner at the club by quite some margin. But at the same time, I felt like it was worth investing in this kind of guy. It's going to boost our profile in Brazil. He's a very kind of flexible player. He can play a variety of positions. And I think he's going to be a good player for us. Unfortunately, He can't play naturally at left mid or right mid yet. That is something that I'd like to overcome at some point, but still a very good player to have. He can also play striker slightly, which is good. And all in all, just a very, very good player to sign on a free. And given the loan signings, I felt a degree of pressure to try and get at least one really good kind of permanent signing. And I think Henderson is going to be just that for us. So either way, of course, we are taking on AC Milan. We're going to do both legs today, although there is a big bit of a gap between the two games, about a month. We only have 3 games in that period, but just so you guys are aware of that. If we look at our team for today's game, I mean, we've added some real strength in the centre-back position, as I mentioned, with all these loan signings. And I'm hoping we can really give AC Milan a good game. You can see, looking at their team, they've got Martial. We just have a quick flick through their players, see what they've got. They've got Jose Mori. They've got Migliorelli. I guess that's how you'd say his name. They've got Montarano. I don't even know. Muzo. They've got good players. They're not great players necessarily. Well, that guy's pretty good. Boik Masia. But, his contract runs out at the end of the year. No, he doesn't want to join. For a second, I thought we were just going to sign another striker spontaneously. But yeah, you can see here they have very good players. I wouldn't say they totally eclipse our side. They've got Romagnoli, who's definitely their best player by quite some margin. And I know he's their key player. But AC Milan, they're a good team. But I don't know if they're a great team. They finished second in their Champions League group. If we look at their fixtures, they won their opening 3 games of the Champions League, and then they started slipping up. They lost to Victoria Plzen away from home 3-0. They lost to Porto 2-0, and they drew with Bayern Leverkusen. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is not an unwinnable game. We'll have to see how we get on. In terms of our team for today's game, it's going to be Mustafa and Ramon up front. Midfield, Smith, Gavial, Bouchard and Cafe. And then at the back, we go with Young in goal. We have Rocha at left back, the Brazilian. Centre backs, we go with Grundy and Frieri. The reason that we are not playing Edson is the fact he's actually injured at the moment. Otherwise, I'd expect him to start alongside Frieri with Grundy on the bench. And then at right back, we have, of course, the new signing Lasso. So we'll see how we get on here. I'm hoping for a good performance. Of course, we're going to play on the counter. We're going to try and hit them on the break away from home here. Not an easy game, but a game that we are going to do our utmost to at least try and win here. That's got to be the plan. That's got to be the aim. We will submit our team going into today's game. And yeah, let's just see how we get on here. Looking at the odds, AC Milan heavily favourites. Not entirely surprising, really, but we are just going to go out here today and see what we can do. They've got Thiago Maia, one of my favourite players this year in FM, a very, very good defensive midfielder. Hopefully he is not going to prove to be kind of too solid a defence for them, and we hopefully can break them down and maybe get 1 or 2 goals. Either way, though, we're playing AC Milan for not the first time in the save, as I mentioned. Last time we drew against them, and that was quite a while ago, so they're certainly not unbeatable, although they have improved a little bit of late. They've started winning the Serie A little bit more. And of course, they've reached this stage in the Champions League. Although we're on the attack from kickoff, I thought Mustafa was just going to get a goal. Unfortunately, though, not going his way. Let's see what we can do here. Ramon, Mustafa. I mean, it's not going to be a highlight straight from kickoff. I don't know why I'm even getting slightly excited. Either way, though, it's been an okay start to the game. Mustafa peeling off his man here. Can he get the ball into the box? Ramon is there. Hits the crossbar. A really good chance early on. A really good chance. It wasn't a clear-cut chance, but to hit the woodwork, it's a good sign here. We're away from home, battling against the odds. Bouchard, Ramon. On the attack again, Mustafa. The Real Madrid loanee cuts inside, beats his man. Ramon hits it, hits the post again. And for 2 chances in a row, we hit the woodwork here. This is harsh. Now AC Milan on the attack. Rocha, though. Fantastic tackle by him. And after, such a great start, it'd be harsh if we weren't to get a goal. We've been on top. We're on the attack again. Cafe, Ramon, Shirley, saved by Donnarumma. Can the ball find its way into the box? It can't. That was a clear-cut chance. I mean, we've had a good start here. Oh my gosh, what is that throw in? It's almost a gift to AC Milan. That was a clear-cut chance. Nasir. I mean, it's a crazily good long throw, but it's a long throw to the left centre-back. And we're throwing it across our own line there. An intriguing decision made by our defence there. So far in this game, we will feel very hard done by to not be ahead. Hitting the woodwork twice. AC Milan definitely dominating the play, but of course we're playing our counter-attacking style. They have a set piece here. They hit the woodwork. Friere gets it clear. And with 10 minutes left of the first half, how is this still 0-0? That is what everyone is wondering right now. It's been such a crazy game. And AC Milan on the attack. Cutting inside. Young, nice save. Cleared away. Fantastic save by the Swede between the sticks. And, it's been a mad start to this game, but it looks like it could be 0-0 half-time here, as time is trickling away and it is going to be 0-0. I'm not entirely sure how that is possible. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy with their performance so far. They look fired up. That is what I want to see from us. Ramon's missed a few chances. I'm going to bring in Russo. I'm going to bring in the Italian stallion, the Internazionale loanee, to play against his Milan rivals. Hopefully he can put in a good performance for us. I'm hoping that that's going to play into his mindset a little bit here. Looking at the team, it's rare, but we've not got a booking at the moment, which is decent. We have set the record this year for the worst discipline ever in the Champions League, with, I believe it was something in the region of 27 yellow cards and 3 red cards at the moment. It might even be more now. But either way, looking at it here, I mean, we're doing okay, although we do need to defend. Still, AC Milan, edge of the box, nice tackle. Rojas lays off to Thiago Maia, the man who I don't want to see putting a good performance here. Milan coming forward, they hit the outside of the post, and well, we clear it. And AC Milan had their fair share of chances as well. Both teams hitting the woodwork a stupendously large amount of times here. But with 17 minutes left, it's still 0-0. If we could get, that late kind of smash and grab goal that you really want to get in the Champions League when you're away from home, that away goal, that could be huge. Although, I mean, we've got to focus on defending here. And Milan coming forward. Romero, right wing. Rocha, nice tackle. Now can we break? It's a 2-on-3 at the back. Mustafa, can he feed the ball through to Russo? Russo trying to make a run. Unfortunately, Mustafa with no one really to hold up the play to here. Rocha, though, wins it. Now Smith nodding it on. I mean, this is okay, but we do need to defend. Driussi penetrating through the middle. Jetro Willems at left back. Rojas, edge of the box, hits it. Finds the roof of the net. Milan take maybe a bit of a deserved lead. They make it 1-0 here. I'm going to go on the 4-4-2 attack. We need that away goal now all of a sudden. We need that away goal. Jetro Willems down the left. Rojas, edge of the box. And it's a good finish. He smashes into the roof of the net. The keeper's always going to struggle to get there. Hits it with power. Hits it with control as well. And it finds its way to the back of the net. I think I'm going to bring in Henderson. I'm going to bring him on for Bouchard, who just hasn't had the best game, really, by his incredibly high standards. The last change I'm going to make as well is I'm going to bring in Jair. Get an injection of pace into our attack late on in this game. Maybe we can capitalise on some tired legs at the back. Either way, we might be on the attack here. Russo through. Please, Russo. He scores straight from kickoff. The immediate change to attack works absolute wonders. Cafe with the assist. I mean, do I stay on attacking now? That has got to be the dilemma on my mind. I think we are gonna. I think we're gonna go for it. Russo with the finish. Near post squeezes it in. I mean, he's come on to score against his Milan rivals, and he's done just that. Puts a massive dent in their plans. We're going to have Jair coming on as well, and now Rocha gets injured. And I've used all my subs. Damn. Oh gosh, what do I do? What do I do? Everyone panic. Everyone panic. That is the only logical reaction right now. Tell you what, this is the change we're going to do. We're going to have to go to the 4-4-1? 4-4-1? Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm going to move Russo to right wing, Cafe to right back. Cafe's not actually that bad defensively, as much as he can't actually play right back. So we'll stick him there. We'll go with Jair as the lone striker, I think. Although Jair could be quite a nice winger for us because of how fast he is. Although he could be good on the counter. I mean, right now we've just got to focus on trying to hold on. Playing a lot of players out of position, but I mean, that is the issue, I guess, with making all 3 of your subs. You know that this is a possibility. But we're holding on with 10 men here. Just, well, 25 seconds left of this game. It looks like it is going to finish 1-1. Set piece here late on. Gavial. I mean, 1-1 at the San Siro. We'll take it. A fantastic performance. A brave performance as well for the last 10 minutes to hold on, with us being down to 10 men. Russo, the sub, making an impact. And that's one thing I've actually noticed this year in our Champions League run. A lot of the subs I've made have made impacts in this game, and Daniele Russo certainly did that there. Either way, that is going to be the first leg wrapped up. As I mentioned, the second leg not for a month, so we'll have time for players to maybe get fitter. Unfortunately, Rocha probably not going to be fit and back for the game because he's got broken ribs, so we'll have to go on without him. But nevertheless, a fantastic performance there against the San Siro, guys. I will be back in a month. We will see how we can get on in the second leg. Maybe we can have a magical night at the Space Ground. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in just a second. Okay guys, so we're back here for the second leg against AC Milan. Of course, a fairly decent result last time out. The 1-1 draw, definitely nothing to be kind of I guess, taken lightly. A really good result, really, away from home at the San Siro. Today, of course, playing them at the Space Park, a stadium that we are yet to lose in all competitions. I mean, that's got to bode well if we look. Yeah, I don't think we've lost... Well, I know we've not lost at home at all this year. We've had 2 losses all year. They're against Real Madrid and Benfica, both away from home. We did draw against Olympiacos at home. But just scrolling through here, I think with the exception of that Olympiacos result, yeah, I think we've won every other game at home, including against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And, well, I don't know. I feel like we've got to try and believe that we can get something from this game. Just a little bit of transfer news. We made a sale since the last episode, and that was Sean Jackson going to Seattle Sounders. A really loyal servant to the club, the 21-year-old striker. However, his contract was coming to an end. He had a release clause in his contract of £14,000. He's not played that much this year. And in the end, I decided just to let him go and get regular first-team football in America. But a very vital player for our team. Definitely a bit of a Hall of Famer. Someone who does leave, I think, the club with quite a lot of respect. And still only 21, very young. And I think he's going to have a very, very good career over at Seattle Sounders. Either way, let's get into today's game. We are, of course, taking on AC Milan. There has been Regen Day, and as the last 1 million or so Regen Days have been, we've not had a foreign player gen in. They've all been Gibraltarian. They've all had terrible kind of ability. They're just never going to play in the team, which is a little bit of a shame, but when you're in a country full of 30,000 people, not entirely surprising. Either way, looking at it here, predicted lineup for AC Milan, a 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-3-3. Looking at our team for today's game, a few injuries, particularly to our loaned-in fullbacks. Rocha out. He's back to full fitness in 4 days. Going to be on the bench, might have to bring him on. I'd rather avoid doing that if we have to, but you never know. And also Carlos Lasso, another loanee, out with a twisted ankle for 12 days to 2 weeks. So that's a bit of a shame. It does mean our team for today's game is a little bit changed up. We're going to go with Lung in goal, of course. The Swedish youngster, developing fairly well, to be honest. I feel like he's very much kind of flourished just playing regular first-team football for us. I must admit, him and Romero have kind of rotated around. Romero's often played in goal when we've been in the league, and Young takes the stage for the Champions League games. Anyway, the defence, we start with Jay Marriott at left-back. Very, very good player, of course. In his 5th year at the club. Could well go on now to play for Gibraltar's national team in, well, not too long, really. He's only got 281 days left to complete. That'd be pretty cool if he could end up appearing for Gibraltar. At centre-backs, we go with Grundy and Edson. That's because, well, they're our best 2 centre-backs, and due to the injuries we've had at full-back, Freire, who we brought in to play kind of full-back for us, is going to slot in at... Oh, sorry, we brought him in to play centre-back, is going to slot in at right-back today, a role that he can play naturally. In the midfield, we go with Paul Smith, Gavial, Bouchard and Cafe. And up front for today's game, we are going to go with Mustafa and Ramon. Pretty strong team all in all. Of course, we come into this game, I want to say it's been a fairly decent result really against AC Milan. I'm hoping that we can get a good performance here. And yeah, I guess we'll see how we get on. So anyway, let's submit our team for today's game. Hoping for a good performance here. And yeah, we'll see how we get on here. Thiago Maia closing him down at all times. The defensive midfielder, one of AC Milan's big players really in their midfield. Anyway, I'm going to tell the players that they're underdogs. You know, no real pressure on us to succeed. We'll see how we get on here. And yeah, just going to be passionate with the players. We'll see what we can make of this game. We are, of course, playing the 4-4-2 counter. But 1-1 after the first leg. Away goals in our favour from kickoff. A 0-0 would see us go through, although we can't really look at things that way. And well, Cafe getting booked after 2 minutes is not what I wanted to see. And now AC Milan with a set piece and they get a goal. Baumgartner with the goal. And well, it's disappointing to concede from a set piece at any time. But in a game this big, against a team like AC Milan, to concede after 5 minutes from a free kick, I mean, that's pretty unacceptable. Back ball into the box. Keeper comes out into no man's land. I mean, debatably, the defence should be doing a little bit better there to track the man back. But unfortunately for us, AC Milan taking the lead. And after 10 minutes, there is a gauntlet that has been thrown ahead of us. Looking at the stats as well, AC Milan performing very well in this game at the moment. I kind of want to change to standard. I think we're going to change this. I think we're going to do it. We're going to change things up. We'll see how we get on here. Although AC Milan on the attack again. Espinoza out on the right. If we concede now, then we probably have to go attacking, which I don't want to do this soon, but we're going to need goals. And Young tips it onto the post. Now can we break away? Ramon tries to pick out his man, but the goal scorer intercepts. Martial trying to get forward. This game has just not gone to plan thus far. Part of me wants to just try playing on the front foot and play on the attack. We're going to need at least one goal to take this to extra time as things stand. It could be more now. Young with a nice double save. Let's make the change. We're going to take a bit of a gamble. We're going to the 4-4-2 attack. But I feel like we've got to try and make something happen in this game. I'm going to tell the players I expect a much better showing from them in the second half. They look fired up. That is the kind of reaction I was hoping for. We've got options that we can bring on off the bench. We might look to do that sooner rather than later in this game. Because at the moment, it's fair to say that AC Milan looking like the better of the two sides. And by quite a margin, really. They've dominated possession. We've had a few shots come our way, but no real massive opportunities. And AC Milan here with a chance. Jetro Willems involved in the goal for AC Milan in the last leg. Need to make sure we mark him and don't allow him to get crosses into the box. AC Milan probing at the edge of the area. Romero, the right back, cutting inside. Don't commit the foul. Don't commit the... I knew it was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen. Young. I'm looking at you, son, to make a tackle for us. Marriott, please don't get sent off. Okay, it's a yellow card for Marriott, but we need Young to come big for us here. Otherwise, we need 3 goals. And he goes the right way, but he can't get a hand to it, unfortunately. And now... Someone get the Mission Impossible music on, because that's what we need right now. We're going on the attack. We're going on the offensive. We've got to go for it. Cafe has had a pretty poor game. In fact, to be honest, our entire team's had a pretty poor game. Just going to pause the match. I'm going to make a few changes here. I think I'm going to bring in Russo and Jer. We're going to make a triple sub in the 55th minute. We've got to go on the attack. We've got to commit men forward. It's going to leave us exposed, but at the end of the day, we are going to need 3 goals to get anything from this game, and we're not going to do that by sitting back on the counter. Jer here, the lone forward, tries to hold up the ball, but Romagnoli with the tackle, and now Martial bring the ball forward for AC Milan. Marriott, well, I thought he was about to get sent off by mistyping another tackle. Of course, already gave away the first penalty. And, well, to concede from 2 set pieces here, pretty disappointing. You know, we have been the masters of our own downfall, although there is still time in this game to try and make something happen. Henderson whips it in, cleared away with Olsen. Now it's with Martial. Espinoza breaking free. He is a pacey player there for Milan. Whips it in back post. Olsen shoots. It's a J. Marriott own goal. He has had a mare. He's had an absolute nightmare today, the left back. Not only has he given away the penalty, he's now scored a horrific own goal. Ball whipped into the box. We are going to lose out on beat and run at the Space Park. I mean, it lasted for a good while, but unfortunately today AC Milan just too strong for us. After a fantastic first half performance in the first leg, I think it's fair to say that we've come unstuck here. We've been caught out of our depth. We've not turned up on the big game, on the big night. And simply put, it's cost us. AC Milan going to be marching on through to the next round of the Champions League. Certainly not a bad achievement to get this far. Definitely going to help with the team rep and the continental kind of competition rep, as well as our coefficient. But at the end of the day, AC Milan, they've just been too strong here. Martial going to make it 4-0 on the night. We went on the attack at 2-0 down. It's cost us, not entirely surprisingly. But I don't know, I feel like we can still hold our heads high. It's been a fantastic performance, really. This is, of course, only our 4th campaign in the Champions League. The club's only been in existence for 11 years. To get to the knockout stages is not a bad achievement by any means. And hopefully we can use this as a springboard to kind of build upon, you know, getting this far in the Champions League. I'm hoping the team rep's going to rise a fair bit just from having a very, very good showing, I guess, in the Champions League in general. To beat both Bayern and Real Madrid is a really good achievement, really, and it can't be underestimated. But unfortunately for us, you know, as I mentioned, we've come unstuck today. AC Milan have really turned up. They've outclassed us in pretty much every department, and, well, we're going to go out the competition at the first round. I mean, I'm not ashamed about that, losing 5-1 on the night, or on aggregate. You can see Real Madrid knocking out Manchester United. Of course, Real Madrid, the team we beat in the group stage to finish ahead of. Either way, disappointing way, I guess, to end the episode. We still get £4 million to get into the first knockout round. We will, of course, also have TV money at the end of the year. In terms of when we'll be back, I think it will be for the traditional end-of-season live-com. We've not actually got that many games left of the year. The Champions League campaign going on as long as it has, into kind of mid to end of March, means that there's only a handful of games really left. Hopefully you guys will stick around for them. And yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this video as always. If you have, please do smash the like button. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.